You know that feeling where you wish you could experience something for the first time all over again? Is that something a movie? A song? A video game? I love Outer Wilds. You don't get it. I really love Outer Wilds. Now, I keep on coming back to this game, whether that be through the amazing music by Andrew Prahlow, or just through actual literal nightmares. This game really knows how to create that unsettling feeling that just pervades your dreams. And if it's one thing that everybody unanimously says about this game, is that you can only play it once, one time. Well, that's because Outer Wilds doesn't use skills or upgrade trees to help you solve its puzzles. No, the only thing Outer Wilds gives you is a wide open sandbox and one goal: learn as much as you can. Now, this concept of knowledge-based unlocks or knowledge-based upgrades is something that is well discussed among internet video essayists, so I'm really not going to go too in-depth on it here. This concept of knowledge-based upgrades means that your character doesn't get stronger through the gameplay systems. You as a player merely get smarter. You learn how to interact with the world in a more nuanced way. And that's the thing with Outer Wilds and other games that use this method of progression. Once you learn something, you can't really unlearn it, per se. This is one of the reasons why I think Outer Wilds is so incredibly special, because it is this encapsulated experience that you can really only truly experience once and once only. So with that in mind, how is it that I figured out how to experience this masterpiece of a game for a second time? And well, that's the question I am going to be answering here today. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of a spoiler warning here, because I am going to spoil the hell out of this game, because I imagine the kind of people that would want to watch something like this are people who have already played the game and are just interested in what I have to say about it. So I'm not gonna pull any punches when it comes to puzzle solutions or just the main narrative of the story. But before we dive deeper, I have to address the big elephant in the room. Yes, this is not an art video. This is not really the kind of content that you might come to expect from my channel given my previous uploads. And my response to that is, I am a human being and I have a wide variety of interests. And I think that those interests ultimately come together and influence the things that I create. So why not talk about the things that I love, pick them apart, and figure out how I can use the things that I love to further influence what I create in the future. Okay. Now with that out of the way, how did I unlock this mystery of how to experience Outer Wilds for what felt like the first time, a second time? This is a very simple answer and one that you might have been expecting, but the thing is that I watched my brother play the game for the first time himself.
I'm in space! Ah! My nose! Sounding like a tornado is about to hit me. What? Sand! Ah! My ankles! Uh-oh.
Watching my brother play it for the first time felt like I was experiencing the game in a completely new way. This was not the Outer Wilds that I had played all those months ago. That first time Magic was back, seeing him work through the puzzles in real time really gave me an appreciation for how this game is constructed. And by watching him play, I figured out that we both had very different ways of tackling this game. Now, take for instance your ship. It is the primary way that you navigate the solar system. It is also a safe haven. It is the tin can that encapsulates your fleshy, breakable body. Now, when I played, I was practically glued to the cockpit of that ship. The only reason I would get out of it was to explore one singular area. And if I needed to go anywhere that was a considerable distance, even on the same planet, I would just hop back in the ship because it offered just that little bit of safety. My brother, on the other hand, he just throws himself out of his ship, orbiting a planet, and just praying that gravity doesn't lose hold of him and send him spiraling into the sun. This boy literally just uses gravity to slingshot himself around planets without a single care in the world. If he dies, whatever, it doesn't matter. He'll just restart the loop and get right back to it. And this method of traversal led to some, let's say, interesting consequences.
No! Please!
The true Outer Wilds experience.
My ship! Gotta be kidding me.
Another fun quirk of my brother's playthrough is that he just absolutely refused to move on to another celestial body until he was done exploring the one he was currently on. And this way of playing led to a very interesting way of uncovering the game's narrative. Like, seriously, this boy found the Ash Twin Project. He figured out how to get into the center of the Ash Twin before even landing a Hearthian foot on Giant's Deep or Dark Bramble. Like, he found the Ash Twin Project before even knowing what the statues did. Absolutely insane. Not even to mention that he barely even checked his ship log, no matter how much I begged him to. Because of this method of exploration, he didn't initially pick up why the Nomai would possibly want to start a supernova. Heck, I don't even know if he knew what the Eye of the Universe was until like over halfway through his playthrough. I kind of just assumed that everybody played the game the way that I did, where you kind of just visit every planet once, kind of get your bearings straight, and then incrementally explore each one kind of simultaneously. But that is just not the case here. And what is the result of this? It felt like I was experiencing this game in a completely new way. Because Outer Wilds is constructed from the ground up to be this non-linear game, it allows for players to essentially discover any little bit of the story at any point in time. It has been meticulously crafted to be this experience that can be experienced in any order imaginable. And if you really think about it, this aligns with the themes of the game, the themes of endless probabilities. You know, think all of that quantum mumbo jumbo. Themes aside, I want to talk about one more thing that he did that just absolutely amazed me. You know how on Giant's Deep you have to get through two barriers on the planet in order to access the orbital probe cannon's tracking module? The intended solution to get past the first layer, the strong current, is to find a way into the Southern Observatory on Brittle Hollow and use the information you find there to go into the cyclone that is spinning in the opposite direction and make it below the current. My brother, on the other hand, seems to have an IQ of like 2,000. He went into the projection pool and he looked inside of the Southern Observatory, and he just saw that there were two cyclones, one of them spinning one direction, one of them spinning the other, and he just immediately assumed that, oh, okay, I need to be looking for the cyclone that is spinning in the opposite direction.
I'm guessing, just because I saw the cyclones in the thing of it showing two diagrams, I'm gonna fly into this real quick and see if it sends me to space.
He never even set foot in the Southern Observatory. Not once. But when it actually came to entering the core through the electric field, he had to go and find feldspar on dark bramble. Now, he did do this pretty flawlessly, and he followed the little crumb trails that led to the jellyfish frozen in the outer edges of the broken planet. But, and this is very frustrating, he went up to the jellyfish, loudly proclaimed, "I am not touching that damn thing," and just walked
stupid?
away.
I ain't touching this thing. It's gonna electrocute the hell out of me. Where am I? Please. Let's see if this kills me.
He just immediately assumed that touching the jellyfish meant instant death. I wasn't even mad at him. I was just in pure disbelief that he just refused to go inside of the jellyfish. It was very, very funny. Now, if you think about it, Outer Wilds, in part, is about the way our relationships influence our own realities. And watching my brother play felt like we were having this grand shared experience, deepening my connection with both the game, which I now understood on a deeper level, and my brother, who I now understand to both be a complete and utter genius and also just an idiot. His perspective, his approach was completely different than everything that I did in my playthrough. It made me reflect on how Outer Wilds mirrors our real-world relationships. How we all go about life and experience things differently, but at the end of the day, that is a shared human, or in Outer Wilds' case, Hearthian experience. And these little shared moments transcend time and space. They are the universal constant. And when he finally got to the end of the game, when he sat at that campfire inside the eye of the universe, this is dumb, this is very stupid, but it felt like I was there with him, whistling that beautiful, beautiful melody. That moment of quiet, of reflection, of closure, it felt like we were experiencing the same thing together, no matter the route that we took to get there. And I'm not proud to admit it, but I cried like a baby. I always cry whenever I see the end of this game, but just like seeing my brother play it for his first time, it was just so much more emotional for me, and I hope it was somewhat emotional for him. I don't think he cried at all, but you know, we are two different people. And this theme of interconnectedness tied with the game's themes of endless probability made me appreciate it even more. This is only a natural progression of how most people probably will experience this game. After playing the game for the first time yourself, the game has this almost second life. You have the singular experience, and then you have the community experience. You have the side where you are figuring everything out new for the first time, but once you understand everything, you can take your knowledge and your perspective and watch somebody else play it for their first time. And it might seem repetitive, but there is something inherently satisfying about watching people make it through this game for their first time. And I think that's what makes this game so special, because it sounds like a bad idea to have a game that you can only play once, especially in an age where video games are made to be endlessly playable, to have all of these player options to exist for decades and to maintain player bases. But Outer Wilds essentially captures the exact same thing without all of that developer meddling. People engage with this game out of their own desire to see people have the same experience that they did. And that is just something so incredibly amazing that this game is able to capture that by just being a work of art. And in the end, after you watch, whether it be your brother, a friend, or a complete stranger on the internet play this game for the first time, it really feels like you are experiencing it for the first time yourself. Thank you for playing Outer Wilds, Matthew. It was an absolute blast to watch you play it, and I hope that every game you play in the future that you have the same amount of enthusiasm for and the same amount of ingenuity and stupidity. All right, that's the end of the video. If you want to go check out my brother Matthew's playthrough of the game, you can go over to his YouTube channel. He has all of the VODs. He also played the DLC Echoes of the Eye, which I did not cover in this video, but that was also immensely satisfying to watch him play. And if you want to go ahead and check out his Twitch, he does stream quite regularly. He plays a wide variety of games, and as I said, he is very entertaining to watch, so please go and check him out. If you enjoyed the video yourself, please give it a like, or don't. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. But if you enjoyed my style of content, or you just think that my voice is nice, go ahead and check out the rest of the videos on my page. I do a lot of art content, so if you want to go watch some sketchbook tours or just like listen to me ramble about art, you can go check out the rest of my videos. So with that being said, have a wonderful day, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.